Blog Talk Radio.
Carol the Coach. Sex, love, and relationships. We talk about it here.
Carol the Coach. Compassion with contemporary relevance.
I am a psychotherapist. I can be your personal life coach, and I can help you with your issues. There are no problems too small or too big. You can talk about anything.
Speaker, columnist, radio TV host, and commentator. Carol the Coach brings messages of wellness and empowerment within reach of everyday people every day.
Almost 5 years ago.
Way to introduce me, I'm telling you, such a wonderful way. Columnist, television host, radio talk show host. You know, I'm Carol the Coach, and I have done all those things. And as I begin to lean into retirement, ever so gently, working 3 days instead of 5, seeing 30 clients instead of 55, running one group instead of 2, I have so much gratitude for what you all have afforded me. I need not say that I have the oldest podcast in sex addiction in the world. I call myself the grandmother of sex addiction, and you all know that. You know that I love what I do. It started with sex addicts. It went to partners. Now I do couples work. And I really try to provide you all with what you need to get healthy. And that's why I'm talking today about Help Her Heal and the important work that you can do reading the book, because it's an empathy workbook to help your partner heal. Or you can attend one of my groups. I have a 12-week group. Matter of fact, it's starting next week. What would the date be on that? Oh, it's October 1st from 12 to 1:30 Eastern Standard Time. I really believe in the power of groups, and I know that it's not just me sharing the information. It's the men helping each other. And even more importantly, it's the men who share their stories and make the other men realize that they're not alone in this journey. There is no doubt that the men that attend this kind of a group, they want to get healthy. They want to help their partner heal. And yet they've been at a loss. They don't know exactly how to do it. We don't know if they lost the ability once they got into their addiction or if they never had it. But we do know they're capable of change. They're capable of learning. And Help Her Heal is so easily understood. You know, we break it down into chapters. The first chapter, and I think one of the most important chapters, is helping addicts to realize that their partners are traumatized and their brain is likely not functioning as well as it did before. Now, not everybody goes through trauma, but most people do. And once an addict understands how the amygdala operates and how the prefrontal cortex of the brain impacts the behaviors of the partner, they can see on a cellular level why the partner is so sad, so depressed, so angry. And it begins to make sense that their behavior that they thought that they could get away with in their stinking thinking, why that behavior has such a great impact on a cellular level on the partner. And so they learn about that in Chapter 1. Something they don't learn, but I'll tell you right now, there is this thing called kindling. And it is when the cells are so traumatized and get so activated and reactivated, they begin to fray. And when they begin to fray, they are no longer as strong as they used to be. Now, we're talking on a cellular level. And when they're no longer as strong as they used to be, they're more easily provoked. And so, again, on a cellular level, the partner no longer has the strength on a cellular level to deal with trauma. It's auto-exacerbating, and it's horrible. But the good news is that cells grow and die and regrow and die. And so those new cells can grow back if they're exposed to post-traumatic growth, if they're exposed to a man who's willing to do the work to help his wife heal. And that's why in Chapter 2, this group learns about feelings, because an addict needs to know his own feelings before he can help the partner with hers. And that is instrumental both in understanding each other, but also in helping her heal. Now, in this group, they also learn about a partner's needs. Her needs for emotional connection when she's ready, physical connection when she's ready, intellectual, social, and spiritual needs. You know, it may sound incomprehensible if you're a partner that at some point somebody like myself would tell you, you know what, you need to get out there and find some things that provide dopamine and that take you out of the partner betrayal and create happiness. And maybe that's getting a puppy. I had a partner that got a puppy, and the puppy was so stimulating. She got to nurture the puppy the way she wanted to be nurtured. I had another partner who decided to dance. And when it actually came out of being triggered. She got up after reading that her husband was continuing to cheat. And she closed that laptop and she started to shake. And then she thought, well, I'm not going to have this involuntary shaking. I'm going to shake voluntarily. And from there, she danced. And she danced. And she played a variety of music. And she said it felt so good. So you have to think about what would make you feel good. What would provide dopamine, and what would take your mind off of partner betrayal. And addicts are taught that after one works with feelings and needs, they have to help a partner understand the all-important trigger busting. They have to lean into the partner as opposed to lean out. They need, more than anything in the world, to tell that partner, I can see you're triggered. It looks like a bad trigger. Is there anything I can do? What do you need from me? And if she can't speak, and sometimes she can't because speech has been also affected, or sometimes she doesn't want to, then the addict needs to take control and say, well, I'm going to sit with you until this trigger's over. I don't know what it's about. You can't explain it. You don't need to. I'm here with you. I know that my addiction, my past caused this, and I'm going to be with you. And after the addict learns trigger busting, then the addict learns the art of empathy, acknowledging the challenge, the problem that the addiction has caused, and validating that primary feeling. And then reassuring on some level that that is not who the addict is today. This person that the partner is dealing with is a man who's working on integrity, sexual and emotional integrity, because those are precursors to intimacy. And I don't mean sex, I mean intimacy, emotional, physical, social, spiritual intimacy. All right, so after the addict learns relational skills like knees to knees, looking at your partner's left eye, mirroring, how to do laser-focused communication, reflective listening, then the addict learns about forms of communication. And I'm telling you, this book really does a nice job of helping the addict. So if you've got a husband, spouse, a partner, a boyfriend who lacks empathy and lacks an understanding of how to communicate in a way that's going to help you heal, I want you to consider putting him in my Help Her Heal group. You can go to www.coach.com, and it morphs into Help Them Heal. And then he clicks on the tab that says Workshops for SA. That's Workshops for Sex Addicts. And there he'll find Help Her Heal groups. Now, when he does that, he has two options. He can either pay individually or pay for the whole thing up front. And I promise you, despite the fact that I've been on two faculties, one for IPAP, the CSAT organization, and one for APFATS, the Partner Sensitive organization, and taught at both of those incredible institutes, and despite the fact that I have written 4 books on this, this is my passion to help you heal and to help the addict heal. You won't find a less expensive group than mine. I absolutely do my best to keep group work affordable and really easy to comprehend. Because once they learn trigger busting and they learn shame resiliency and they learn those other forms of intimacy and how they can stay strong and stay with you through the pain, they also learn to like themselves again as they're helping you heal. And so it's a win-win situation. And that is always the goal that we're seeking. It's to create more self-esteem, and it's to keep you, the partner, in the here and not the there. You know, Bessel van der Kolk said that so incredibly. He said, the goal of trauma treatment is to keep your client in the present, keep him or her here, and not over there in the past where they're haunted by fear. And so I want you, if you're an addict, to consider taking this group, even if you're not with your partner right now. I would say 20% of the group are men that are separated or even divorced. And the other 80% are in a relationship that they want to improve. So if you lack empathy, or if your partner does, please come to this all-important group facilitated by yours truly, Tuesdays from 12 to 1:30 Eastern Time for the next 12 weeks. And together, we'll work on helping her heal. As I say at the end of every podcast, and we've got an incredible podcast coming up next Monday with Carrie Ishii, there will only be one of you at all times. Fearlessly have the courage to be yourself. See you next week for more sex help with Carol the Coach. And don't forget, you can go to my website, www.sexhelpwithcarolthecoach, to find that all-important Help Her Heal group.